Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rewired by Words channel. Today, I'll be talking about the topic, Be brave to speak up. Only by daring to talk will you learn how to talk. Please stay tuned and listen. Poor communication is a disease. Recognize it to improve yours. In today's world, communication is the key to every relationship, whether in work, family, or social life. Yet not everyone is good at it. Some people talk a lot, but no one really listens. Others are so quiet that people feel distant or disconnected from them. Gradually, relationships weaken, opportunities slip away, all because of ineffective communication. Author Track Na refers to this as a communication disease, and the very first step to improving it is learning to identify what kind of illness you might have in your own communication. Poor communication doesn't mean you lack intelligence or the ability to speak. Most of the time, it's simply a result of certain bad habits that you haven't realized yet. Have you ever found yourself in one of these situations? You talk a lot, continuously, but no one seems to really listen. You often say only what you want without noticing whether others are interested. Or maybe you stay quiet, shy, afraid of being judged, so you keep everything inside. All of these are signs of a communication problem. And if you don't notice it early, it could seriously affect your personal and professional life. Some people suffer from over-talking. They dominate the conversation without regard for the listener. Others have the silent syndrome. They barely speak, making it hard for others to engage. Then there's the awkward timing disease. They say the wrong thing at the wrong time, making others uncomfortable or leading to misunderstandings. But here's the good news. These are all treatable diseases if you're willing to change. The first step toward mastering communication is not learning how to speak like a professional speaker. It's learning to recognize your weak points. Only when you know what the problem is can you begin to fix it. Just like when your body feels unwell, you need the right diagnosis before you can heal. Communication is the same. Once you've identified the issue, you can take action to improve step by step. Because being a great communicator is not something you're born with. It's the result of self-awareness, learning from mistakes, and consistent daily practice. Common communication illnesses you might have. Communication is an essential life skill, yet many people unknowingly fall into patterns of poor communication, what author Track Na calls communication illnesses. Recognizing these common problems is the first step toward improvement. Here are some of the most widespread illnesses in communication. The overtalker. This person speaks endlessly, dominating conversations without giving others a chance to respond. They often ignore the listener's expressions or reactions and focus only on getting their point across. As a result, the conversation becomes one-sided, tiring, and disconnected. The silent speaker. On the opposite end, some people barely speak at all. They respond with short, vague answers and avoid engaging. This creates a cold or distant impression, making others feel awkward and disconnected. In communication, silence can sometimes be more damaging than words. Poor timing. This includes speaking out of turn, interrupting others, or saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. Even a good message can cause harm if it's delivered at the wrong moment. Timing is a crucial part of effective, respectful conversation. Off-topic talker. These people tend to go off on tangents, miss the main point, or ramble without structure. This can confuse listeners and derail meaningful conversations, especially in professional settings where clarity is key. Lack of sincerity. Using fake compliments, forced small talk, or exaggerated stories to impress others might work briefly, but over time, it leads to distrust. People can sense when words lack authenticity, and it can damage long-term relationships. Although these communication illnesses are common, the good news is they are completely curable. All it takes is awareness, willingness to change, and steady practice. Because true communication isn't just about saying something. It's about building trust, connection, and understanding with every word you choose to speak. Self-reflection, the key to daily improvement in communication. We often spend too much time looking outward, observing others, judging others, and forget the most important thing, looking inward. The same applies to communication. If you want to speak well and connect deeply, the first step is to ask yourself, where am I going wrong? What am I still doing poorly? Why don't others seem to engage with what I say? Self-reflection is not about criticizing or blaming yourself. It's about understanding yourself, improving yourself, becoming your better self. Here are a few simple yet powerful practices. After every conversation, take a moment to reflect. Did I express myself clearly? Was the other person comfortable? Did I talk too much or too little? Try recording yourself during meetings, presentations, or casual talks. Listen back, and you'll begin to notice your tone, your flow, your habits, both good and bad. Don't be afraid to ask for honest feedback from friends or family. Do you think I'm easy to talk to? Is there something I can do better when I speak? Feedback is like a mirror. It shows us things we might not see on our own. No one becomes a great communicator overnight. Communication is a lifelong practice, and it begins the moment you're brave enough to look within and improve. Little by little, day by day. Effective communication is the art of saying the right thing, at the right time, in the right way. Mastering communication is a lifelong journey of practice. No one is born with perfect communication skills. We learn to speak as children, but speaking well, speaking clearly, effectively, and with influence is the result of a long journey of deliberate practice. Communication isn't a natural talent reserved for a few. It is a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and improved every single day. Maybe today you still struggle to express yourself. Maybe you've said the wrong thing and hurt someone. Or maybe you feel like no one really listens when you speak. But don't let that convince you that you don't have a gift for communication. Because communication is something you can improve little by little, as long as you stay persistent and truly want to grow. Start by listening more, reading more, and observing how effective communicators speak. Practice speaking clearly, concisely, and to the point. Be mindful of how your words make others feel. And most importantly, always speak with sincerity. Change doesn't happen overnight, but if you commit to improving just a little each day, speak a bit better, listen a bit deeper, over time, you'll notice a remarkable transformation in yourself. There's no shortcut to becoming a great communicator, but there is one reliable path: daily practice, continuous learning, and the courage to reflect and improve. The journey to mastering communication begins with you, and it begins today. Thank you for listening. If you found this helpful, please give us a like and subscribe so you won't miss out on more valuable knowledge next time. Goodbye, and see you again.